on leads. And Jessica is helping me teach leads class to all of our wonderful agents. So you guys on top, you'll see the PowerPoint, and I'm gonna let Jessica take it away, and we're gonna go through this, and then when we're all done, we're gonna give you homework. And then next week, we're gonna do role playing. I know you're excited about that. Role playing and all kinds of things to see how we wanna help you set up all your Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, just, I don't wanna have everybody raise their hand, but we're gonna help them set up their Instagram, their Facebook, all the kinds of things that you guys should have and that you should be doing to get business. How about that?
And at the end of the class, I'll kind of collect emails and social medias from everyone, and we should all follow each other and be part of the team and, you know, coordinate.
Subscribe to each other.
Yeah.
And then when you guys want to do videos that you want to put on my YouTube channel, you can do that, because like I have people who pass a test and they did their videos and we put them on my YouTube channel so people can all see what it's like to do the journey to the beginning of real estate. Because it's really frustrating to me that I see people on TikTok going on to people who are real estate agents and they're like, don't you know that 85% of the real estate agents fail? Don't you know this? And I'm like, you know what, you don't have to burst anybody's bubble, because you know what? If people do what they say they're going to do and they do it, they're going to be successful. The people who are unsuccessful are the people who aren't doing what they're supposed to do.
For everyone that's here and taking the time to learn, you guys are going to be successful because you're taking the time to do what you got to do.
Right. And she has all kinds of great information, so let's roll.
Do you want this?
Yeah, so that way I can follow without looking up at the wall.
Yeah. All right. Leads and marketing.
Leads and marketing.
So before we get started, I love, Pam, your idea of the inspirational big quote, beginning.
You want to be our inspirational person and do it?
charge
Do
for that.
you want to repeat it? I think it was really good.
Yeah.
Say it. Okay,
Yeah, can you repeat the inspirational thing?
I
Because
want
that was
to do it
cool.
word for word, so let me just get back to it.
Sorry to put you on the spot like that.
If you want something you never had, you'll have to do something you've never done.
I like that. That's
So-
awesome. That's awesome.
That kind of plays into, in this business, and you know, I know we're talking about leads here, but start with an attitude of gratitude every day. Start with an inspirational quote. Start your day up good. I start my day every day going, today's gonna be a good day. You know? It's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna make it a good day. Whatever happens, it's gonna be a good day.
Right? Always
Um,
smile, because when you smile, it makes you feel better.
Yeah. Smile. Drink your water. Go for a walk. Have a good day.
I do the dog walk.
You don't drink water? I'm not sure.
She drinks
She
alkaline,
does.
right?
Yeah, I drink
Yeah.
alkaline water.
Accountability. So as a group, kind of, we're a small group, but like accountability partners. So that's why I'm saying let's all share our phone numbers and emails and like set goals together and hold each other accountable for that, because it's really easy to get busy and forget. So kind of having someone to push you and having that support system.
Bless you.
Excuse me, thank you.
Now, I don't know if everybody knows how to do the Google Calendar, but our attorney, so we have an attorney. We actually have a company attorney. And what he did for me is he made me go into the Google Calendar. And if you don't know how to use the Google Calendar, you know, upload the Google Calendar and put everything that you're doing on it. And you could do tickler tasks that say, okay, this morning I'm going to do this. And you can make lists of things that you're going to do and make yourself accountable at the same time you have accountability partner.
And that's also great. If we all do that, we can share, hey, by Friday, I need to have this done. And then one of us will be like, hey,
Did you do
did
this?
you do
Right.
it? So that's also part of keeping a schedule. Organize your calendar. There's so many things to do in real estate and to learn, and every day there's something different. And then when you start picking up those leads and those clients and follow-ups, staying organized so nothing falls through the cracks. Stay top of mind. Tell your story, post frequently, always follow up. I mean, it's just like eat, breathe real estate. I mean, you should always kind of just be top of mind. Make a post, share a story, shake hands when you're out and about. You're a realtor, you're a real estate agent, you're, you know,
Tell me how long have you been in the business?
since January.
And how many houses have you sold? Or
Two.
Two? Very cool. Okay. Good. I'm just curious.
So this is what that packet is for. That's your sphere of influence, SOI. So this is your first stop. Who do you know? I mean, use who you know. Use who do they know? And so in that packet, it's people you wouldn't even think about. Who delivers your pizza? Who's your pharmacy worker? Who's, you know, you have a favorite lady at Target.
Well, I was talking to Bill on the way over here,
Yeah.
our attorney, and I said, you know, you drop off your clothes at the cleaners all the time, and they know you, and they know you do real estate. But the really sad part about this whole business is if you don't ask for the business, you're not going to get the business, because, you know, the cleaners has 20 other real estate agents that are dropping off their clothes and picking up their clothes all the time. But nobody's asking for the business. And I find that when you don't ask for the business, you don't get the business.
Yeah.
And when you go on a listing appointment, if you don't say at the end of the appointment, what do I need to do to earn your business, then you're not going to get the listing, especially if they're interviewing a bunch of different people.
Right.
So I have a question about that, because like, let's say I'm new to the business,
Uh-huh.
right? And then they probably have people they know that are realtors, right?
Right.
So how do we stand, or I stand out amongst that? Like, because you know,
That's a really good question. I know what you mean, because
Yeah.
you're like, I'm brand new, and all these other people that
Uh-huh.
were dropping off clothes have been doing real estate forever. Why
Right.
am I better than them? Because what you say is, you say, you know, I'm new. I know I'm new, but I'm excited about the business. And when people are new and they're excited about the business, they're going to answer and follow up faster than people that take it for granted. And a lot of the older real estate agents do take it for granted. And you can say, you know what? I have a broker that's walking me through every step of the way, and my broker's been in the business for 35 years.
Mhm.
So that's how you overcome the amount of time that you're not in the business.
Yeah, and you kind of pivot to, I'm part of a great, you know, my mentor, my broker, or part of a team. You know, you're
Yeah.
backed by great people.
Okay.
So this is your homework, is to make a list. You know, make a spreadsheet, pen and paper, fill out the packets. You don't have to do every single line, but they give you a lot of ideas of maybe people you don't always think about. And start building your database and just continue adding as you meet people, because then you can follow up with text, calls, send a postcard, take them out for coffee, you know, take an opportunity to connect. And this is Sharon's favorite, text. So now that you have that list, start texting your contacts, reach out in a meaningful way. You know, make those connections, not in a cheesy used car salesman, hey, I'm a realtor. We don't want that.
So the texting thing, so we'll go on to that texting thing.
Yes.
The one that I teach is you don't want to say you don't want to hit up on them and say the famous line that all the real estate agents say. And that's the one that all these, like all the coaching people teach you. Hi, I just got my real estate license. Do you or anybody you know, or
Yeah.
is anybody you know thinking about making a move? And that's like the cheesiest, worst thing. That's what, when she said cheesy about cheesy car salesman, don't do that. The one that I learned from, that by the way, I never hardly ever mentioned that class that I took, it was a free class, introductory into his leads class, that is $6,000.
Oh,
I kid you not. He literally had the kahunas to ask for $6,000, and he said, anybody on this call, I'm going to discount it to $4,900. So these leads classes that people are teaching are super expensive, but he's the one that I got the leads from. And you know, girls can do it too with the videos, but I don't do it with the video because I don't want to have to do my hair and makeup every time I wake up in the morning and do the video. But if you're used to doing videos, and you guys don't have to do makeup. They just
No,
wake up and do.
Yeah.
We have a couple guys in here. And you just kind of do this. And what the guy did was he did a video of himself every morning. And he said, hey, I'm just reaching out to you this morning. You know, reach back to me, text me, and let me know how you're doing. And, you know, Michelle, you started texting, and your first 4 days, you got 4 leads. So we got to follow up on those leads and keep bugging them and see what they really want. And you have to, that's the thing. It's easy to fall down on your leads, but if you do 20 texts a day, and some people go, well, I only have 10 people on my phone. Well, text those 10 people and make sure you start going back and forth with those people. And you're not asking them for business. You're not saying anything about real estate. You're just saying, text me back and let me know how you're doing. And it's amazing how many people text you back when you say, text me back.
Yeah.
So start texting and getting to know people. There's a lot of things that, what's that one called? Poplo? So there's systems to where you can meet people and you can literally have your own QR code, and we're going to look into some of those. And that's really great that upstairs they're doing a build out, so we have them banging on our ceiling, which is really special when we're videotaping, but that's okay because we can get through this. Keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's all this
The
is.
texting
you
thing
know,
is awesome.
Like they said in here, naturally, the hey, kind of what have you been up to? What are you doing? What's going on in life? What's new? It'll come up, and hey, guess what? I just passed my test. I'm really excited. Yeah. Open houses, they're a great opportunity to build your database. If you have a listing, obviously that's a no-brainer, you're gonna go do open houses. And in that open house, then you meet buyers, and hopefully those buyers do not have an agent, and then that is now a lead and someone else in your database that you get to follow up
Go
with.
to the open houses and meet.
So we're
No,
gonna
so-
start talking about the open house right now, so.
Yeah.
Jessica's leading into it, and
Yeah.
so because I am the Tri-Counties Board President-elect, I'm going to all these meetings and learning what's the most current things that are happening. And a lot of the people out there, that's why I'm really proud to be with you guys, and I'm glad that you're with our group, because you can be out there and be doing stuff that you don't know you're not supposed to be doing. And right now, there are thousands of agents out there doing something they're not supposed to be doing, and that's holding open house for agents under other companies. And you have to follow carefully on what's going on. It's the Department of Real Estate is saying, which makes no sense to me. They're saying that if you're at somebody else's open house, so let's say Jessica works for somebody else and she's under a different broker. Let's say she's under broker A and I'm under broker B. Okay, I don't work at her same company. So the Department of Real Estate is saying, I can't hold an open house for her because it means I'm working for broker A when my license is under broker B. Okay, now my theory about the way around that is, okay, if the buyer doesn't have an agent and they come to the door and they walk through the door and the first thing you say to them is, welcome to the open house, do you have an agent? That's what you're supposed to say to them in the first place. And if they say they don't have an agent, say, well, I'm a licensed agent, I'm here at the open house helping Jessica with her open house, I'm not with her broker, but I'd like to show you around the house. Because now you're representing that buyer under your broker. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you could do that, and there's no way that you're working for Jessica's broker. You're at the open house with her, and you're introducing yourself as, you don't have an agent, I'm at the open house with Jessica here, and I'm willing to show you around the house. And you do it professionally, and you talk to the person and give them a tour of the home. You're not working under broker A if you're telling that to the buyer. Now, if the buyer says they have an agent, then they can walk around the house themselves. But you can always ask them, if anything happens with your agent and you decide you're not going to be working with them, I'd love to help you. But you always have to ask them if they have an agent because, that's the professional thing to do. However, what's coming out is the buyer agency agreement. And once they sign a buyer's agency agreement, they're supposed to work with that agent. Now, what they're saying too is a lot of these buyers are not going to want to commit to somebody for 6 months or a year. And that's why when the buyer's agency agreement first came out, the buyer had to, agents were making them commit for 6 months to 8 months to a year, saying that if you sign this, you're working with me for the next 6 or 8 months. Well, nobody wanted to sign that because nobody wanted to commit. People don't ever want to commit to anything. So basically what they're saying when they're teaching the classes, and I'm sure that the Board of Realtors is going to go ahead and have some classes on it, but they're saying that get them to commit to a month. We're going to be looking at these houses this week. And we have to have an agency agreement because I'm showing you homes. Legally and technically, you're supposed to have them sign the agency agreement before you sit down and write the offer. So when you sit down and you write a listing, the first thing that pops up on the listing thing is the agency agreement. So you're supposed to also do that when you're showing them homes, okay? If you have one agency agreement with them because you're listing their house, then you already have that agency agreement with them for the purchase of the other house because it's a basic blanket agreement. However, they're saying you're supposed to do that before you even show them homes. Most people do it, like they show people homes and then they sit them down and they write the purchase contract and it's connected to the purchase contract. So you're supposed to do it first. Well, now when you get the agency agreement, it's gonna have the one that says you're working with me. So once you have that, and once they start making us do that, which is gonna be really, really soon. So we'll go over that and we'll make sure that you guys are current on that. But once a buyer signs that with somebody else, then they pretty much own that person. So, it depends on how long that they're gonna do the commitment for. If somebody doesn't want to commit to 6 months or a week or whatever, you need to say, okay, well, we're gonna go look at houses this weekend. I need to get an agency agreement with you for this weekend. You could do it that short. Okay, question?
So you're talking about the open houses
Yes,
and doing it for other
other
agents.
offices, yeah.
Are there any open houses that I could go to and attend, maybe run one?
So that's
This
one
weekend?
that is on here is that as a group, again, we're all kind of accountable and all kind of sharing and wanting to boost each other up. So when any of us have a listing, let's partner up and go to the open houses and get that experience.
Right, I was wondering if there was one for
Well,
Sunday.
I mean, I think we should still hold the Moreno Valley at one
If
open.
you guys want to drive to Moreno Valley, you're close to Moreno Valley.
Because the Moreno Valley house,
I do one this weekend though.
yeah, it's in escrow, but we put it on the MLS as active under contract, so you guys should know the differences between those. So active under contract means we are under contract, we're in escrow, but the reason we're holding it active and the reason most agents hold it active is we're trying to get a backup offer. Now, some people want to be a backup offer, some buyers don't want to be a backup offer. But the point of the matter is most agents will put it active under contract if they're not comfortable with the buyer. And I'm not comfortable with our buyer.
Okay.
Our buyer is an investor who came in at full price with nothing on the contract. It was a perfect offer with 25% down. When you have a perfect offer, you know, I always teach people, if it sounds too good to be true,
It is.
it's probably too good to be true.
Right.
And I'll tell you, I'm gonna teach you guys, it's like supposed to be just a leads class, but I'm gonna teach you so that you guys are the best. So this agent is I think she's trying to pull a fast one. And I'll tell you why I feel she's trying to pull a fast one, is on the contract, they wrote termite inspection, okay? But they didn't write termite clearance, okay? So on the contract, you're supposed to, if you're gonna ask for a termite inspection, you better ask for a clearance.
Right.
Because if that's on the contract, the lender's gonna ask for a copy of it, okay? So I contacted her and I go, how come you don't have a clearance on here? You have the termite inspection, but you don't have the clearance on it. And she said to me, she goes, I'm gonna put that on the request for repairs, okay? You guys have to understand, I want you guys to know everything. A request for repairs is not part of the contract. The request for repairs is the buyer asking you to repair stuff, and the seller does not have to do it. I mean, you should have seen Miguel's, we just sold Miguel's house, and the request for repair, oh my God, the request for repairs, they wanted a $10,000 credit.
That big white house, that's like all these stories,
No, what are you talking about?
Miguel's, like
No,
Miguel, like-
he's behind you, Miguel is sitting behind you, it's his
I thought
house.
you meant like Mr. Miguel, I was like, you sold that house?
No, I don't even know who you're talking about.
Miguel's Jr.?
No, I don't know who that
You know
is.
Miguel's Jr.?
No,
Okay.
don't know who you're talking about. Anyway,
Okay.
so we sold his house, the buyer asked for $10,000 credit. And we looked at them and it's like, we had a video that went viral on TikTok. Over 700,000 people watched this. I pressed the button. They asked for a $3,000 credit for a garage door that they said didn't work. So
Oh, I
Miguel
saw
and I
that.
walked out there and we pressed the button. I'm like, Miguel, press the button. And it goes down. I go, press it up. And it goes up. And it worked. And then we had all these stupid people complaining about how the garage shaked when it went down. I'm like, it's a garage door. So, you know, you got to know that the request for repairs is not in the contract. Legally, the listing agent does not even have to answer the request for repairs. So be aware of that. So the reason I feel that we should go active under contract is this young lady says to me after I asked her why she didn't have the clearance on the report, she said, oh, I was going to ask for that when I asked for the repairs from the request for repairs. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm just waiting to see their list on the request for repairs. They're doing the home inspection on Friday, so we'll keep you posted, right? Right? So going on, taking action.
Any other questions about the open houses? You know, obviously if you have a listing, I talked about in our group, we can kind of tag team open houses and learn from each other. Always try to get creative, make it fun, make people want to come to your open house.
So do you want me to run one for you on Sunday?
You have to be willing to both go, because I mean, she can't just go sit at the open house by herself.
I know. If I have an open house, I will text you guys.
Play music.
Well, you don't want to have like 50 people there, because I remember this one office that I went to, they asked me to come to the open house as the lender, and I got there and there was 5 agents there. I'm like, why are there 5? I mean, it was so
No,
overwhelming
at
to the people that
most,
were coming in,
I would have
2
like
people.
maybe 2 people with me, so.
And you can ask other agents if they'll let you have their open houses, because they're always looking for someone to do it. If they say that the DRE doesn't want them to have other people under them, then explain to them that, you know, there are ways to work around it. As long as I'm not selling the house, I can do the open house for you. But we can talk about it with you guys, get somebody.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had people text and call me and say, hey, I see you having an open house today, can I host one for you tomorrow or something?
Mhm.
So agents will reach out and you can, that's what she's saying, you can do the same.
Next page.
Get personal. So go out, find groups in your area. Chamber of Commerce is fantastic, there's one per city, right? Every
Mhm.
city.
Every city has a chamber.
Volunteer opportunities, fantastic to meet new people, get it out there that, you know, Start shaking
Do
hands
something
and
that
meeting
you
people.
guys like to do. Like think of something you like to do and then go, oh, I could volunteer there and do that. Or
But that's
find,
the thing is, make it personal to you.
Yeah.
Because you want to be passionate about these things. You want to meet like-minded people, so you have something to talk about with these people.
like I like to do golf tournaments, so I'll volunteer at golf tournaments. Do you know how many people golf at golf tournaments? It's crazy.
Can I drive your golf cart next time you do one?
Yeah.
Thanks.
But good, I mean, look up golf tournaments and ask them if they need volunteers. All kinds of charities need volunteers, and you'll meet all kinds of people. You know which hospital? There's a hospital, it's, Placentia Linda Hospital. I know that hospital always needs volunteers because my brother and my mom seem to be living at Placentia Linda Hospital. But they always ask for volunteers and volunteer opportunities, like when you call on their phone. So those are doctors and nurses that you can meet
Yeah.
that want to buy houses.
It's
X-ray techs want to buy houses.
There's opportunities everywhere, so that's also kind of part of the homework. Think about what you want to do, what hobbies, what groups are you already in.
How do you start the conversation when you're there?
How do you start the
Well,
conversation?
hey, what do you do?
Did you see my shirts?
You
I
know,
have shirts that say hashtag real estate on the front.
Is
Is
that
that the
like-
one live, the one you were wearing?
No, I have. Oh, I have
Okay.
that one too. I have one that says hashtag real estate live. But I just got our T-shirts in,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna sell them at the real estate cram courses. I think they're gonna be about $20. I'm not trying to make money off of them. I'm just trying not to lose money on them. But they say hashtag real estate on the back. They say the butler did it.
Oh.
But like when I wear that shirt, like I'll wear it to the gym or I wear it to the hotels when I'm working out,
Yeah.
and people go, "Oh, you're in real estate." And it's so funny because I forget I'm wearing it. The other thing is when people close a deal, unless you guys want to get your badge sooner, guys, I'm not going to give you sparkly ones. I'm sorry. The girls are going to get whenever you close a deal. Well, I'm always going to come up with something I can give you guys. It's cute. But I have my name badge that says Sharon Butler, real estate professional, and it has sparkly things around it. I wear that thing like everywhere. I keep it in my car, so usually I get out of my car and put it on. I don't know why I don't have it on now, but it says real estate professional. So if you ever do leave us, you'll still have the badge. It won't say a company name, and you'll always remember us. And send us your loans, right? Send us your loans. We want those. Go ahead.
so those conversations though, from your question, they're kind of the same thing as texting. Make it, what do you do when you meet anyone? Right? Hey, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do for work? Hey, what do you like to do? Do you have kids? Do you have family? I mean, just talk to them.
Wait,
So,
does
like,
this lead
have
into that
business
phone
cards?
thing that I do? Or is there another
Eventually
shoot?
we'll
Okay.
So kind of like also giving out your business cards, right?
We'll get to that, but
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but just start a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going out there, you can also go to local businesses, become referral partners. Like, hey, I'll pass out your business card if you also refer me, and kind of set up a little.
Okay, so that leads me to Rick and I were sitting in this office, and this guy had flyers. This is a really good idea because people don't do it. So, you guys, basically, if you pick 3 of these things, we're telling you hundreds of things to do. If you pick 3 of them and do it,
Yeah.
and actually do it,
Yeah.
pick the things you like to do. And that's why, people always, I never wanted to be a real estate. I hate to say it, but I never wanted to be a real estate agent. Because I didn't want to be a salesperson. I don't think I'm a salesperson, but everybody thinks I am. So anyway, Rick and I were sitting in this building, in this room, and somebody knocked on the door. And the guy came in and he was an insurance guy for life insurance. And he had a flyer and he said, "Hey, I'm just stopping by businesses to let people know that, they should think about life insurance." And I'm like, God, that's like such a good idea. And I've done that before, but nobody ever does it. And basically you just make a flyer and you say, this is what interest rates are doing. And if you're interested in buying or selling or down payment assistance programs, contact me, and just make a flyer. I mean, that's the cheapest things that you can do are the things that you can make a flyer, drop them off at businesses. You can text. All these things are almost free to do. So there's no excuse not to do them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really love that idea of just picking businesses that are in your area because it's inexpensive to go somewhere in your area. You're hitting people from totally different areas.
Yeah.
And you can get way more people with one shot. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Cold calling.
Yeah. I hate cold calling. I don't cold call.
So get social. I'm sure we all have some sort of social media, but stay on top of it. Set up your real estate business pages. Start posting every day. Information, something interesting, fact of the day. Do you like this or that? Day in the life of a realtor.
Or even now that for those of you who don't have your license yet, you could do a day in the life of, going through the steps of becoming a real estate
Okay.
agent.
There's so many fun little things, but make it interesting. Don't just, here's a fact about real estate, here's a house, you know, have fun with it.
How's the roof?
You could even, we could even give you the video on opening and shutting your garage.
Yeah.
Because apparently really everybody liked it. 700,000 people liked it.
Yeah, so have fun, connect. But this is going back to the first slide, that's, you know, be present every day. Do it often. Share your story. Be personal.
I'm not sharing on TikTok right now because they
Oh.
took me off.
You know, you got grounded.
I got grounded
Um,
because I talked about sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
stay top of mind. So someone should always think of you, right? Like, oh wait, I was looking at this house. Oh, you know what? Sharon does that. I just saw her post the other day. So it all start thinking about that with your social media.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in again.
You're grounded.
I know, I'm grounded. LinkedIn, you guys. Does everybody have a LinkedIn account? If you don't have a LinkedIn account, you can do a free one. Put a good picture up there. Okay, you and you're making noise. What are we gonna do with you?
Everybody.
She brought pretzels for everybody.
The crunchiest,
Okay,
loudest
so-
thing
I
you
know,
just
right?
have.
I'm
What
sorry.
are we gonna do with
Do you
you?
have a bowl?
So anyway, no, I don't have.
How about cups?
God, you just want everything. Stop.
I'm just trying to
Anyway,
get it.
It's only a couple hours. You can live through it.
Sorry, I just wanted
So
to-
let me do this. It's LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is free. There's a free LinkedIn account that you could get. Put a nice headshot on there, and you know, just if you already have your license, great. You can put your license information on there. If you don't have your license, just put independent contractor. You know, put something on there. Now this is what I did when I first started doing LinkedIn. I think I have one of the highest amount of followers. Whenever I go on LinkedIn and I look at how many people have followers, they're like 1,200, 1,800. I have over 8,000, I think.
I wanna see if I can have a look.
Yeah, you can look at mine too. So on LinkedIn, this is what I did on LinkedIn. Now, I don't expect you guys to get a lot of business from your social media, but this is why you have social media, just so that you understand why you even have it. So I was doing short sales, and I started a little company called Short Sale Resolution Network, and I had an attorney that was giving me short sales. And so we're always going to be following things that are happening. So in this company, you guys, every time I know something new is happening, like the thing that I'm bringing up on how to get the leads, and the leads that I'm working on and how to help veterans is going to be phenomenal. So anyway, and I'm not going to share that with anybody until they sign a release that says that they're not going to do it anywhere else. But anyway, the LinkedIn thing, you guys. What happens is you can write articles and posts. You don't have to be a professional writer, but make sure that you don't have typos. And basically what I did was I started writing a little thing every day. And there's this thing, it's called Active Rain. And Active Rain is real estate agents sharing with other real estate agents. And so I was on Active Rain, and they said that they would coach me for free. I don't know why they picked me, but they did. So what they did was they told me, this is what you do. Any kind of article that you're writing, you say it like constantly over and over in every other sentence. So it was really crazy. I wrote, you know, Short Sale Resolution Network does, you know, specializes in short sales. So the point of the matter was I had to use the word short sale every time I could say it without making it sound ridiculously repetitive, which I did. So I said, Short Sale Resolution Network specializes in short sales. A short sale is when you don't have enough money when you sell your house and you owe your lender more money than the house is worth, and this is a short sale. And I just said short sale like every 10 seconds, okay? And so it was really funny. It was funny, but not funny. Active Rain couldn't believe that when they told me to do that, I went and wrote the article, and every time somebody Googled short sales, I was the first one that popped up. So what happened was the attorney sent me a deal that was in Auburn. It's about 7 hours away. And so I called the clients and I talked to them, and they were very hesitant about hiring me because I was in Orange County and they were 7 hours away. So she called her uncle, who is an attorney in Long Beach, and he researched me. Well, guess who popped up? Because of LinkedIn and because of Active Rain telling me to write the article. So what I did was I wrote articles every single, like literally I would do every other day, I'd write something stupid about short sales just to make sure that my name kept getting out there. And when he saw that, he called her up and he goes, if you don't list with her, you're stupid, because she knows what she's talking about. So just write little things about, you know, I get stuff that there's gotta be a way we can do an email thing where you guys can send out stuff that I get to, cause I got something I think I forwarded it to you. It was a really good little email that had some information on marketing. So, and then, and people do things like, sharing moving tips and that kind of stuff that you can send out to people. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm done with LinkedIn. That's LinkedIn.
So the point of that, and point of all social media, is to stay top of mind and kind of position yourself as an authority on the topic, right? So every morning, get in the habit of, maybe that's on your calendar, and part of being organized is read the news on real estate. See what's happening, what's going on in the market, what's happening. You should be able to talk to people about real estate, and they should be able to trust you on these matters.
Yeah, one of the things that's going on that's very political, and we have to, it's interesting because when I'm teaching classes, some of these people get really irritated about politics. Of course you're gonna have Democrats, of course you're gonna have Republicans, but realtors are the realtor party, and that's how realtors market ourselves, as a realtor party. In fact, they're so into being the realtor party and not Democrat and not Republican that we wear purple, because blue and red equal purple. And so yes, it's true. So basically, if you know what's happening in the housing market and you share that with people, instead of going door knocking, or instead of emailing people about, hey, list with me, do with me, you give them information about what's happening. And there's a lot of housing stuff happening right now. And I was talking to one of the girls at the meeting I was at today, and she's like, FHA has a down payment assistance program that will give you 3% down. And she goes, and you don't have to go through CalHFA. So, we have to learn about all these different programs so that we're up on it, and we can tell people, well, you don't have a down payment, but you can do this. But we have to know the parameters, and we have to keep people up on that. And if you keep people up on the correct information, as opposed to some people that are on the internet not posting the correct information, then you guys will be the authority over the people that are saying stuff that's not true.
Yeah.
And our company name is California Real Estate Experts. So we should and be always the experts.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool thing that we can say that.
Absolutely. So get social again. Join groups on Facebook. There's 1,000,001 real estate groups. There's local groups. There's garage sale groups. There's listing groups. Join them. Start meeting people. Post a listing.
Do they still have Meetup? That one called Meetup?
No idea what you're talking about.
There's one, yeah, there's one called Meetup, and Meetup to the things that you like to do. For instance, my son just started, this is really cool. He did the Baja, and he did the Baja with a group of guys. He said there's 25 trucks. Each truck is 100 grand or more. He said the most expensive truck in the group is 500 grand.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, these people are all business owners, and he's doing everything he can to meet people that want to build custom homes, because that's what he does. So, find the groups that will do the things that you like to do, so that you're doing something you like doing at the same time you're networking.
Exactly.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah, home group, it's all on here. Volunteer groups, home improvement. Join Nextdoor. That's an app for your community. We can do a deep dive in more social media stuff and doing ads. Once we get there, we can do that together. Create videos. I know not everybody likes to be on video, but you can still do videos of walkthroughs and information. And like she's saying, be authentic. So join the groups that you want to do. Be authentic. So get out there. Every time you leave the house, there's an opportunity to market yourself with your shirts and your pins. Wear a real estate shirt or pin. Pretend to be on the phone closing a totally awesome deal, which I will let Sharon share that story.
Okay, so she's talking, when she says a shirt or a pin, I will bring in some pins for you guys. I have them. You don't even have to go buy them. I'll bring them Wednesday. So next Wednesday, I'll bring the little lapel pins that you have. I have some really cool ones that are white. They're kind of political. They talk about what's happening in it's just it's like a realtor pin. I'll see about getting the R pins and see what I can do about that. When I wear that R, even if I don't have my name badge on, literally I'll have that little R on. And in the grocery store, people literally come up to you like, are you a realtor? And I'm like, and sometimes I forget I have the pin on, and then I start talking to them. I swear everybody at the grocery store I shop at, they all know I do real estate. It's super funny because the cashier lady, her daughter's a real estate agent, and people in the store ask me questions as opposed to probably going to her daughter. But anyway, the telephone thing is really cool. Let me borrow your phone. So some of you have already seen me do this. I know Gabriel's seen me do it, but it came about because I was at Ross, and I was at Ross at Christmas time. And I'm at Ross at Christmas time. I'm in a big long line, and I had just closed a deal with Mark Coffey. Mark Coffey is an agent who sends me all his loans. And I was sitting in there, and the lady did a down payment assistance program, and he called me, and I answered the phone, and I'm, Mark, yeah, I know. I can't believe I got Teresa in that $700,000 condo with no down payment. Yeah, I know. She only had to come in with $2,500, and then she got $500 back. I know, and she got like 3.25. I know, but I'm in line at Ross. So can I call you after I pay the cashier? All right, cool. I'll talk to you in a bit. And I hung up on him. And after that happened, 3 people in front of me and 2 people behind me. It was a total of 5 people asked me. They're like, "Are you in real estate?" I'm like, "Well, I was just talking to a real estate agent. I'm actually a loan person." And they're like, "Is there first-time home buyer programs?" And I started talking to them, and they all asked me for my business card, but I was shopping. And I said, "Well, I'm shopping. I really didn't expect to need my business cards. You guys never give out your business cards." Because I could have gave my business card to all 5 of them, and I would have never heard from them again. I said, "You know what? I have my business card in my phone. Can I text it to you?" And every one of them gave me their phone number. And I followed up on all of them. And 2 out of 3 of them made a move and did something. Okay, the other ones, they weren't ready. But then when I got up to the cashier, she's like, "What happened in line?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm a loan officer." And she's like, "Do you know anything about reverse mortgages?" And then I started talking to her about her mom and a reverse mortgage. So you guys, literally, that works really good. It worked so good that I started doing it. I started doing it in the store without somebody on the other end. So that's what we do. So you shut your phone off, okay? Because if you're doing this and you're saying that and the phone rings, you're gonna look like a real idiot. So shut your phone off before you go in the store. And then when somebody's around you, just like you can even act like you're calling them, like you don't want to look stupid. Like, so you can call and say, "Yeah, I was calling you to follow up on that deal that we're doing." You can make the call. And I was doing it in a store, and I literally went into Home Goods. Is really good to go in and do that. And so I was in Home Goods because I was looking for staging stuff, and I was on the phone talking about staging, and she's like, "Oh, do you do staging? I'm thinking about selling my house, and I don't know how I want my house to look, because I don't want the agent to come in and stage it, but on the same token, I don't know what I should do for my home." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not only a stager, but I'm also an agent." So you guys can go out there and talk to people all day long and follow up through them. But like I say, if you give them a business card, you can't get a hold of them. But if you have an electronic business card or that thing, what is it called? Popple? We have to see what it's called. But this guy just did this to me at the last seminar thing I went to. He went like this. He put on his phone his QR code, and my phone took his QR code, and he sucked my information into his phone.
No.
Yeah, and then it went into a contact. So we're gonna do that because it's free. So we're gonna start doing all those kinds of free stuff. Oh, one more thing. Back up to the open house for a second. We have an app. It's not an app. It's a system. It's free. It's called Open House, and you can go on openhouse.com. But what Rick did was he actually put our logo on it so we can sign into it. And when people come in, they can sign into it, and they can do they can answer questions in it on what they're looking to do, and you can capture their information. So there's all kinds of things that we can do to get people's business and their name and their number.
Yeah.
So I love that thing. So I like doing that thing that I just showed you because you know what? When I close a deal, I always go shopping. That's why I have way too many clothes. So I gotta stop
the
that.
Ross example, so you got their contact information, so did they contact you or you contact?
So I can contact them.
Oh, okay. So
You want to
did-
follow up and say, yeah, that's what I did. I waited a couple days, said, "Hey, I met you at Ross, and you were asking me about first-time home buyer information." And I called all of them, but only 2 of them actually did something. But to get 2 deals from going
Yeah.
clothing shopping. So even in my presentation on I got my license, what do I do? I go shopping, but I don't go shopping for clothes. When I need business, I go shopping for clients.
So Ross is where
Yeah,
it is.
Ross is really good. I mean, any store where there's people at.
Yeah.
Why not, right? It's a good way to get business, and it's not boring, and it's something fun.
Yeah.
I like to do fun stuff because I don't want to do something I don't want to do because then I won't do it.
Yeah.
So like cold calling, I won't do it. I have some leads that we're gonna go through and see if, about sharing them with you guys. It's called sold.com. And I already told sold.com. So sold.com, I have Placentia, which is this area right here. and I get leads from there, and I don't like to call. If you guys like to call, then we'll show you how to do calls, okay?
Yeah.
Going on.
So you kind of covered all of this. I mean, start conversations, anyone, everyone. Have your business cards handy. I like to have some on me for like businesses and things like that. But like she said, get their phone number. Oh shoot, I forgot my business, even if it's like in your pocket. I forgot my business cards. What am I gonna do? Let me get your number. I'll send it over to you. So what neighborhoods are you focusing on? Like you just said, you have Placentia, right?
Well,
Placentia.com.
I mean, I just have sold.com on Placentia because I know Placentia inside, outside, and backwards.
So, but that's something to think about is where do you really want to focus on? Where are you comfortable?
I know Miguel has a
kick
kick butt neighborhood he lives
Yeah,
in
you have a
now.
great neighborhood. So think about your neighborhood, surrounding areas. Are there, are people selling their homes? Is it a good area for families? What's nearby? What do the comps look like? We'll go over comps later. Is it a good area to look for business? So you can go door knocking, you can start a farming campaign, you can pass out door hangers, business cards, write a letter, for like, I'll show you an example here in a little bit, and get involved. Just recently in my neighborhood, someone had the mayor come to their house and talk about neighborhood safety. But like it got everyone together and you kind of just, serve a couple,
Was it at the house?
It
Was it at their
literally
house?
outside at their house,
What city?
La Habra.
So, speaking about that, if you guys live in a community that has, like my house, and if anybody wants to do Irvine, my house in Turtle Ridge has a theater, and the theater sits 50 people.
Wow.
So, and I think it's like $1,000. I don't know how much the deposit is, $100 or it's like a deposit, but as long as you return it, you get your money back. The other thing though is like if like you're in that condo, don't you have like a community
Hosties?
center? Yeah. Is there a community building that you have?
Yeah, it's like filled with Golden Girls wallpaper.
Are you serious?
Mhm.
You need to go. You need to get.
Inside
Oh,
of it.
and if you're in an association,
Yeah.
join the association.
I'm
Go
on
to
the
the
board.
meetings. You're on the board.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But nobody really.
Nobody goes to the meeting, but being on the board gives you the opportunity to reach out to them, though.
Oh, right.
So we'll talk about that too, because the thing that I'm doing with veterans has to do with associations. So we'll talk about that more when we're not doing what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, the door knocking thing and the door knocking campaign. You guys, when you do a door knocking campaign, you can't just go and knock on the door once and expect them to know who you are. And when things are coming up, because it's a very political atmosphere right now, things are happening, and we always want to know what. Okay, they call them SBs, so they're bills, SB bills that are happening. And I'm trying to keep up on the ones that are coming up right now because there's some bills that are coming up that people are going to vote on, and we want to make sure that we're there and we pay attention to them because the realtor party wants us to pay attention because some of these things that are passing, like one of the things that passed a little while ago was they changed it. They made it so it wasn't not. I'm not good at remembering exactly what they are, but it made it so like when people break into your car or break into your house, it used to be a felony. It used to be something where they got in really big trouble, but they changed it to like a misdemeanor. They downgraded it so that, if somebody breaks in your house or they steal your car, it's not that big a deal. They book them and let them go. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to overturn that right now. So if we know what's happening, that's the safety of our neighborhood. You should be out there talking about the safety of our neighborhood and what's going on. And, if you have a community building that you could have one of those like first time home buyer seminars or, are you looking to upgrade? Especially if you're in a condo complex and you're wondering, you could do a seminar on wondering how you can move up. Can you rent out your condo and go ahead and buy another property? How do I make the move to a different property? Do I have to sell this property? And you guys, I know all that stuff. So if you want to do a seminar, I will do a seminar. That's what I used to do when I first got in the business. I did first time home buyer seminars. I did community seminars. So you can do all that stuff. Getting involved in the, the neighborhood and doing that stuff where you post things, like you put pumpkins on everybody's yard and that kind of stuff, like especially small communities. But be careful when you're doing a door knocking campaign or anything that takes a lot of money, because like I tried to do Turtle Ridge and there's 5,000 houses in there. I've actually walked through the whole place at one point and I left things on their door.
What did you leave?
But,
What did you leave?
I don't remember what I left at that point, but what I usually do is CAR our California Association, whenever they're promoting something, like when they did Proposition 5 and then they did Proposition 19, they had door hangers and they had flyers. And so what I did was I stapled my name, my business card on them, and I left them at people's houses. And I told them, and I also sent out letters to the area where I was gonna go door knock. And I said, okay, I'm gonna be in the area. I'm gonna be talking about things that, as a homeowner, you should know. If you're not home, I'll leave some literature at your door. That was what I did the week before, and then the next week I did door knocking because I wanted them to know I was coming. So there's different things that you can do, especially in the business, in the communities that you live in.
And then next week, we'll take a deeper dive to do some more one-on-one, setting up social medias and doing all that kind of stuff. I have a million examples of different door hangers, different letters you could write, different stuff like that, so you guys can take a look, and if you guys wanted to make it your own, we can get
So
that
bring
started.
laptops with you. If you have a laptop, bring a laptop with you because we're gonna go into your social
Not if
media
you're
stuff.
Michelle, look at those great notes.
I know, right?
Yeah.
What else is on here?
So miscellaneous, send handwritten cards. I mean, nobody writes cards anymore. Nobody handwrites anything. It's all emails and social media. But people love to get a card. Holidays are coming up.
Thanksgiving's coming up.
Thanksgiving's
You
coming
have
up.
total
holidays.
time to go through all your emails and your texts. And
So-
you guys, Miguel, you and Susan should be sending out things that say, hey, here's our new address to your friends and family.
Yeah.
My
Put your
That would be
card
cool,
there.
huh?
My realtor sent us I think last Thanksgiving, a pie, Polly's pie.
Uh-huh.
He dropped it off. A month after, he sent a towel kit for summer. I'm like,
And that's
Wow.
great if you already have the clients,
money.
but what are you doing for those
Right.
leads, right?
yeah,
So who do you already know in that SOI list from the first slide?
yeah.
You go, you know what, like I know their address, I can send them a postcard, hey, how are you doing? Or hey, thank you so much for this time, or I was just thinking of you, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
people will hang it up.
It
People
can
will
get
read it.
expensive. Huh?
Yeah.
People love to get mail.
Yeah.
I love to get mail.
You look
That's
at
not a
mail?
bill.
As long as it's not a
That's
bill.
Nice.
Cold calling.
Oh, right on there, I am not a bill.
I'm not a bill. Happy
We do have that,
Thanksgiving.
right? This is not a bill
Oh,
in
yeah.
your mail. Yeah.
So cold calling, it's not for everyone, but it is an option for leads. Some people love it, some people hate it. FSBOs, expireds, new home builders.
Okay, some people don't know FSBOs are.
For
So
sale
those
by
are for
owner.
sale by owners.
Oh.
Okay, so it's interesting because, sorry, I have to stop you at all these things, but the for sale by owners, if somebody puts a for sale by owner sign on their house, then you should knock on their house like now. You shouldn't call me and go, should I knock on the door? I love Teresa to death. She's a friend of mine. Her license is under us, but she's more of a day caregiver. She's not more of a salesperson, but she saw a house that had a for sale by owner sign on it, and it was where one of the people she takes care of, they wanted to live there, and she didn't knock on the door. And then it was like a week later, she calls me, she's like, should I knock on the door? I'm like, you should have knocked on the door when you first saw the for sale by owner sign, because by the time that you go back and ask them if they want to work with you,
How many
somebody
other
else
people
already
have
did.
Yeah.
Okay, and there is actually for sale by owner websites, and there's places where you can find for sale by owners things. So that's where you want to look. But those for sale by owners, unless okay, so let me tell you something that most people probably don't know about for sale by owners. Are you ready for the best lead tip ever? Don't knock on their door and say, hi, I'm a realtor, can I list your house? Because they don't want to list a house, that's why they have a for sale by owner. Say, you know what, you knock on the door and you go, hi, and you talk to them and you say, I know obviously you don't want to list your home with a real estate agent, so I'm not here to ask you for a listing. I'm here to ask you if you would allow me to do an open house for you. Because as a real estate professional, I can do an open house for you, and I can capture, the information on the people that come through. Because the thing is what for sale by owner people have to realize, and it was so fun to watch, and I really feel bad for him because he's my next door neighbor, and he did a for sale by owner, but he started out with a for sale by owner, and then he did there's one that's called Help You Sell. He ended up doing Help You Sell. But I felt so bad for him because he should have just asked me and I would have helped him. But he didn't, and he wasn't a very personable person. So the reason he's not a salesperson, whatever he does, he's not a salesperson in his real life of business or whatever, but he was so unpersonable. But imagine somebody knocking on for sale by owner and he doesn't know what to say. He owns the house and he doesn't know how to ask them for, like, what do you want? And what the funny part is, it's the most awkward thing of a buyer trying to talk to somebody who owns their own home, trying to sell it to them, and they don't know what to say. And so you can say, you know what, I know that you want to sell your house on your own. I would love to help you. And if you go, and if they say, well, what's in it for you? You can say, well, I can represent the buyer if you'll allow me to. If you don't, worst thing that could happen is somebody will get in your home and you guys can work together. And I may meet some people who don't want to buy your home and I can help them find something else.
Mhm.
That's what's in it for me. I want to meet the buyers who are interested in buying a home. And if they want to buy your home, then I'll step away. But if you need help, because you need the paperwork, because I don't think these people understand that they have to legally do some paperwork. They have to do the TDS, that's the transfer disclosure statement. They have to do, and there's going to be more paperwork that's coming down the line that these people have to do. And if they don't do it and they get sued, they're going to lose more money than it's worth.
Right.
So you can talk to the FSBOs like that. The expired, you got to be careful with that, because it's interesting because a lot of places teach new agents to do expireds. However, CRMLS say that they own that data. And technically you're not supposed to go on the MLS and find expired listings and hit up those people. However, I can't stop you from doing that. Okay? New home builders, they all pay out, which is awesome. So if you have questions about new home builders, let me know and go on. What else?
Agent referrals. There's 1,000,001 real estate events. I know, Sharon, you go to many of them, but a lot of people from around California will come. And a lot of people in Northern California don't want to drive down to do an open house in Southern California. So, hey, we can make friends. I'm happy to do that open house for you. Or, sometimes they'll refer you a lead and then you give them a percentage.
Well, I actually did that.
Yeah.
I had an open house in the beautiful city of, I think it was Visalia, way up there in Northern California. And I had the open house up there. I had a bank-owned property that I was selling, and the guy put an offer in, but then I had another offer that was better, and then my offer actually fell out. So I called him back and I said, do you still have those buyers? He said, no, we already found somebody. I said, bummer, because the other people fell out. And he goes, then he called me to see if he could show the house. And I said, well, I'm not going to be there. There's a combo lock on there. He goes, well, I'm not going to be around this weekend. He goes, I actually have an open house in Irvine. I go, you have an open house in Irvine? He goes, yeah. I go, I was going to have an open house up there. I go, why don't you do my open house and I'll do your open house? And so we switched to open houses. And that worked out really, really well. Of course, he got somebody to buy my house and I didn't get anybody to buy his house, but that's okay because I met people. So the name of the game is meeting as many people as you can and trying to help them, because the other thing is we're doing a service. We're not cheesy car salesman people, and the Realtor Association wants to make sure that people know that we're out there to service people and help people. People aren't going to find the house of their dreams all by themselves. They may think that they will, but they probably won't. And at this point, they are not paying you at this point. The seller is paying the realtor, and the realtor is paying the person who brings the deal to them. But the other thing that most people don't know, and I forget who it was that I was going to tell them, make sure you know this. Even if you know somebody is moving out of town, and you're like, I know you have somebody that's moving out of town, they're moving to Arizona or they're moving to Colorado. I had a client that was moving, one of my agents had somebody that was moving to Colorado. She had the listing, and I said, well, make sure that you hook them up with a real estate agent in Colorado. And she goes, well, what do you mean? I go, you're not just going to let them go to Colorado and go crazy, right? So I had her call around, find a real estate agent in Colorado. She basically interviewed people that she wanted to work with, and she gave them she connected her client who was selling their house with an agent in Colorado, and she got a $2,200 commission from the agent in Colorado. So don't just let your people slip through the tracks, because they may find somebody that's not really a good, not a good match for them, and you could have helped them with that.
I think go a step beyond. Come from a place of service instead of a place of I want to make a quick buck in sales, and you're going to succeed.
How do you find these networking events?
Sharon.
Sharon. Well, also on the internet, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the internet that you can do. The one that's called Meetup, you know, you can go to Meetup on car clubs, you could go to Meetups on anything. And there's people selling stuff all the time that want you to go to their things, you know, like, I hate to say like Tupperware, but there's different things where women come, you know, I don't know that I should mention this one, but you know, there's women that do, you know what I'm gonna say, right?
Huh?
Just things. Let's just say that. Like
parties.
Jewelry
Things.
parties, that's
Yeah.
it,
I like
jewelry
that.
parties.
Mhm.
I'm gonna turn red,
I
right?
know you're red.
Anyway,
So last slide. So now it's time for you guys to take action. So this week, write down 5 goals that you will work towards this upcoming week. Write them down.
you don't have to write all 5 goals right this minute, but
Think
you
about it,
guys
you know.
write 5 goals down.
So for next week, we can share and kind of what have we accomplished this past week. Even if it's like by the end of this year, I want to do X, Y, Z. Write down some goals. Set some actionable items up for yourself.
I wanna join 2 clubs by the end of the month, or
Exactly.
whatever you wanna do.
Pick, maybe 3 ways you're gonna go try to get leads. What are you gonna set up this week? So then create your business cards, which you can reach out to me if you need them or need help. Social media, we will deep dive into more next week.
Start picking the social media that you're gonna do, and maybe create your account so that we can start working on that next week.
Yes. And then create your email. So look professional, have a professional email. I've seen some awful emails out there, just don't do it. And make sure it's known, like.
Well, I
won't
know
even go into
Jessica, you were
it.
able to put your picture at the bottom of your
So that's what I
signature,
was gonna get into, so I'll
so
also,
she's gonna help us do
we
that.
can create signatures together next week, so you have your picture and it's really professional, it looks good.
So bring your laptop.
Bring your laptops, we can do that, and then go ahead and start preparing your SOI list and get your calendar set up, get in the good habits now. And then come ready to share at the next meeting, kind of what we're doing. Feel free to take those database building sheets home and start thinking.
Well, let's look at that really quick.
Go ahead.
So basically your homework is to get started and do something, take action. But when you're looking at this 150 ways to build your database, I love the first one. Obviously, you're gonna say, what are the names of your family members, names of your spouse's family members? So, you may not have a lot in your phone, but maybe like Pam, your mom might have a lot, because right now you don't really have a spouse.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you
But
have
still
a
lot of
spouse.
contacts.
He has a lot of contacts. I don't know if he'll give them
He's
to
a
you.
teacher.
What is the name of your best friend? What about your friends database? Spouse's best friends database, very close friends, spouse's close friends, your children's friends' parents. That's a good one. Your children's principal's name. Guy, it goes on. Your doctor's name. You guys, it's really crazy because whenever I go to the doctor, I meet somebody who wants to buy a house. So just get out there and talk to people and don't be embarrassed. I mean, the best thing to do is wear one of those realtor pens. I'll bring the pens for you free next time. Anybody that's on the internet can get pens from me. They just have to ask me for stuff.
Cool.
I mean, I'm pretty good with sharing stuff if you ask me. Any questions, you guys? Do you feel like you learned something? Is it worth the drive? I want to make it every week when you come here that it's more than worth the drive.
Of course,
Yeah.
it
And
is.
next week
Yeah.
won't be a presentation, but like, let's just really, we'll all sit down together and just deep dive into get you guys established. Because even if you don't have your license yet, you can start, hey, I'm studying for this, like you said, here's a day in the life of someone studying for their exam, or just start making it known that you are going after this. And you're really excited, look what I learned today, and then it starts getting people prepared.
Any questions? No? Are you gonna ask questions after I shut off the film? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna shut it off right now.
I was eating the whole time.